It was one of those moments that stops the nation in its tracks at the kind of raw, unfiltered political drama that people will talk about for years. The cameras were rolling, the lights blazing, and two of Washington's most vocal figures, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana and Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland, were locked in a battle of words that would soon spiral into a stunning display of conviction, intellect, and sheer emotional force. No one watching could have predicted how quickly the tide would turn, or how decisively one man's argument would shatter the other's composure before millions of viewers. The tension had been building for weeks. The hearing was supposed to be routine, another fiery debate over accountability and government transparency, but beneath the surface, tempers were ready to ignite. Kennedy, known for his sharp wit and homespun humor, came prepared with facts and a quiet determination. Raskin, a former constitutional law professor, was confident, articulate, and ready to defend his stance with every ounce of his academic precision. When the two finally faced each other, the atmosphere crackled with electricity. As the exchange began, Raskin launched into a lengthy explanation, drawing on legal theory and emotional appeals. He spoke of principles, of justice, of the soul of democracy. The room listened, half entranced, half exhausted at the kind of speech that sounds strong on paper but falters under the weight of its own complexity. Kennedy waited patiently, his expression calm, almost kind. Then, with his trademark Southern charm, he leaned forward and delivered a line that instantly silenced the chamber. "Professor, you sound like a man trying to explain the rain while standing in this flood. Maybe it's time to just admit you're drowning." The audience gasped. Even Raskin paused, visibly rattled. Kennedy didn't gloat. Instead, he pressed on, question after question, his tone measured but firm. Each inquiry was surgical, cutting through rhetoric and exposing contradictions. It wasn't shouting, it wasn't personal, it was mastery. Viewers at home began flooding social media with disbelief. Kennedy just demolished him. Read one viral post. Within minutes, clips from the exchange were trending across every platform. Raskin tried to recover, offering rebuttals that once would have landed well, but Kennedy had already shifted the energy of the room. What unfolded next wasn't just a political takedown, it was a lesson in humility. Kennedy reminded everyone that the true power of debate lies not in volume or theatrics, but in clarity and conviction. He spoke about ordinary Americans, people who don't have the privilege of hiding behind academic jargon, who expect honesty, not performance. His words echoed with empathy and authenticity, and the crowd erupted in applause. Behind the scenes, staffers were stunned. Raskin's allies whispered among themselves, realizing this wasn't just a bad moment, that was a defining one. His confidence seemed to crumble, his closing remarks a shadow of his usual brilliance. By the time the segment ended, the damage was undeniable. Commentators called it a career earthquake. Overnight, headlines blared, "Kennedy's precision dismantles Raskin's narrative, a masterclass in calm under fire." But beyond the political theater, something deeper resonated. Americans who had grown weary of endless division found something refreshing in Kennedy's approach, not cruelty, but courage. He had shown that truth, when spoken plainly and without arrogance, still carries immense power. It was a reminder that leadership isn't about winning arguments, it's about standing for something real, something that touches the heart. By the following morning, the nation was still buzzing. Commentators dissected every word, analysts praised Kennedy's composure, and even critics conceded that the senator had delivered one of the most impactful moments of live television in recent memory. Yet amid all the noise, Kennedy remained quiet, choosing not to gloat. When asked later about the exchange, he simply said, "I don't aim to destroy anyone. I just aim to make the truth a little clearer." In an era when politics often feels like chaos, that message struck a chord. Kennedy's calm defiance, his insistence on truth over theater, reminded people that integrity still matters, that one moment of courage can reset the tone of an entire conversation. It wasn't just a clash of egos, it was a turning point, one that left viewers inspired, reflective, and reminded that sometimes, the loudest victories are the quietest ones.